Hey there, my friends. It's Carrie Konyha bringing you this week's episode of Collective Awakening Weekly. This is a weekly energy update and activation to support our journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. If you're new here, I'm a professional psychic reader, soul guide, and shamanic healing practitioner in Sedona, Arizona. Each week here on my channel, I share insights regarding the cosmic energies that are shining in and how we can best to work with them. So before I get into the astrology that's happening this week, I'm going to talk a little bit just on a personal insight level about what we've been experiencing. This Uranus North Node Mars conjunction that we're in the midst of now, we've been feeling the energy of this for many weeks already. And there's still going to be several weeks of this energy activating and integrating. And it's been really transformative. It's definitely been a crazy ride. There's been a lot of topsy-turvy, triggery type of energy, being that Uranus is considered to be the liberator, the awakener. It's connected to cosmic mind. And so we're all in our own individual ways being shown where we've been stuck, and we're being guided to liberate ourselves from being stuck so we can rise fully into our higher timeline, our highest sense of joy in life, meaning and purpose, higher destiny, so to speak. So we've got that going on, but we're also right now having a little bit of an opportunity to shift our focus away from that energy and focus a little bit more on where there's the energy of exuberance, which is connected to the new moon that's happening in the sign of Leo on July 28th. We're fully in Leo season now. The sun went into Leo last week, and now we're having the new moon in Leo. Leo is a lot about self-identity, self-radiance, self-expression, creativity, creative self-expression. Leo energy inspires all of us on deep unconscious levels to really embody the radiance of our soul light and share it with the world. The opportunity that we have right now to shift into that energy can actually bring a feeling of ease and also act as a catalyst for whatever we're processing and integrating in our lives right now that's been inspired by that Uranus North Node Mars conjunction that we're in the midst of. It feels like in a time of intense transformation, we're getting this little breather of energy that enables us to shift our focus. In fact, one of the things that's coming through psychically for us all this week is to be really intentful around the energy that we're choosing to bring into this new moon cycle. Being really mindful of how you have your energy set. Now, again, with that Uranus conjunction that we've got going on, we've all had our own version, myself included, of being sort of like all over the place and just navigating situations, unexpected developments, and things of that nature. But this is a great opportunity for us to practice mastery of awareness by being very aware and practicing mindfulness of, okay, what's my predominant frequency or vibration? Is this the energy that I want to be creating from? Or do I need to make a little bit of a course correction or adjustment, optimizing my internal harmony and well-being so that I can be creating from that space? Like, that is perhaps the strongest message that's coming through for us all right now on those collective levels. Be really conscious and aware of the energy you're choosing to deliberately bring into this new moon cycle. And why? Because we want to remember that the new moon is the best time each month to set new intentions around whatever we would like to manifest, experience, or create. Now, astrologically speaking, Jupiter, which is in the sign of Aries right now, is making a trine aspect to the sun and the moon in Leo, which lends itself to expanding that Leo-inspired exuberance that we're all feeling right now. It activates it even more. It's almost the energy of like, screw all this deep, heavy stuff. I'm just going to go out and play. And sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to get out of our own way. Sometimes we need to get out of our head, get out of wherever we feel stuck, and shift our energy by getting out, being playful, being in your exuberance, and recognizing how that serves to realign or reharmonize us. This week, with there being an emphasis on fire element, where we've got Jupiter, Chiron, the sun, the moon, and Mercury all in fire signs. Fire element in and of itself is expansive, it's exuberant, it liberates, it also purifies. So we can harness the power of this fire energy to rise above whatever challenges have been showing up for us individually, to transmute those energies, to alchemize those energies, to purify anything that has felt like less than desirable energetic state of being that we might be falling into or in and out of. There's definitely an energy of sort of things happening in waves right now. We might feel in alignment and harmonized one day as we're going through this Uranus conjunction, and the next day feeling different types of waves of energies that could be on the grieving spectrum, the sadness spectrum, the uncertainty spectrum, because we really are in a significant time of change, but it's change that's meant to expand our awareness in upgrading our paradigms ultimately. A great practice for us all this week is to consciously follow the path or the trail of where there's new incentives, inspirations, ideas, thoughts, awarenesses that are connected to new possibilities, new directions, new trajectories that are opening up now. And to stay centered on that, our personal growth, mastery of awareness challenge this week is in really consciously claiming the energy that we choose to bring into this new moon cycle, rather than just getting sort of sucked into the undertow of the tide of energy that's going on those heavier levels with the Uranus North Node Mars conjunction that's happening right now. This is a time for us to really reclaim our soul light essence, which is also very connected to that Leo energy. Leo is very connected to the path of heart, its courageousness, its inner strength and resilience. And again, it's being an embodiment of our authentic soul radiance. The guidance that's coming up is for us to consciously choose in the direction of what feels better, what feels good. We want to be authentic with how we really feel, what we really need, and advocate for ourselves without getting unintentionally snagged or stuck into a lower vibrational energy that is connected to however there might be contrasts showing up in our life that represent what we don't want. And that's a lot of what's going on right now with this transitional, transformational energy with the Uranus North Node Mars conjunction, is we're being made very clearly aware of what doesn't work for us anymore and what it is that we prefer. And in order to align with the timeline of what we prefer, we want to embody that energy of flow state rather than the dysregulated nervous system state of being that can happen with any challenges that are showing up for you right now. So let's take some time to not only set our intentions deliberately, but include within that a deliberateness around the energy state of being, the vibration and the frequency that we're choosing to enter into this new lunar cycle with. Moving into this cycle as consciously and deliberately as you can right now is going to support how things are unfolding for you personally, with your personal cycle, with this Uranus North Node conjunction over the course of the next 15 years, because that's how often Uranus and the North Node come together, not including Mars. And of course, each time it's in a different sign. This one being in Taurus is connected to things having to do with possessions. It's definitely going to influence and impact how things relating to money are happening on more of a global world level. I think we're going to see a trend in currency being converted completely into digital formats over the next 15 years. But on more personal levels, and I talked about this last week, Venus is the ruler of Taurus, and Venus has to do with love, the sacred feminine, beauty, harmony, things like that. So these are all things that on personal levels are up for review and reconsideration in our lives right now. Where are we at with our self-love? Where are we at with the relationships that matter most to us in our life? Where are we at with optimizing a quality of holistic harmony in the lifestyles that we're living, in the energy that we're embodying? I invite us all to have some contemplation and even doing some journaling around these things. These are tools that are actually going to help you to be able to move forward into this lunar cycle energetically on that really deliberate, conscious mastery of awareness level. This is a really great time to refresh and revitalize our personal sense of connection with our soul self, our soul light, our inner radiance. A few more things I'm going to talk about astrologically, and then we're going to delve into the cards here. We do have Mercury in the sign of Leo that's making a square to that Uranus North Node conjunction that's happening right now. The interesting thing about this is that Uranus is connected to cosmic mind, higher mind, and awareness, while Mercury is connected to things having to do with our human thought processes, thinking, communicating, studying, and things like that. In astrology, I see squares as being a little bit of a checkpoint. It's like, okay, there's something that needs to be checked in with, rectified, before we can move forward. So if we look at Uranus being higher mind, Mercury being human processes of thinking, communicating, and learning, to me, this further emphasizes that the way forward is in remaining connected to like a higher perspective. The square is reminding us of the value of stay focused on the bigger picture. Don't get lost in what might feel like a personal struggle right now, but stay tapped into what really matters to you in your life. What does your soul compel you towards? And how can you harness the energy of the new moon and this Uranus North Node Mars cycle, which is at its peak this week, which is why I'm talking so much about it? How can we leverage these energies to catapult us in the direction of our bigger picture intentions and dreams for ourselves? We still have Venus in the sign of Cancer as well. Venus in Cancer is all about self-nurturing and going within. So when we're going within, we want to go within on a heart space level, not like a exhausting your mind thinking and analyzing level, right? There's a huge difference there. So again, Leo energy is very connected to path of heart. Venus in Cancer is very connected to path of heart. So this gives us indicators as to where is the doorway forward for us. It's going to be following your heart, not the worries, doubts, fears, concerns of your mind, not the triggeredness of whatever wounds are coming up for you. Doing your best to work through those, achieving a harmony, and moving forward based on that heart guidance. So with that, I'm going to select a few cards, get a few additional messages for us all here. And I'm working with my Universal Rider-Waite deck today. The first card I'm looking at here is going to represent what is the most beneficial energy for us all to embrace right now as we're consciously moving forward into this new moon energy. And again, the new moon is happening on July 28th. But the energy of the new moon is really prevalent for like the first 3 days of the new moon. So if you don't catch this video right away, if you're catching this anytime really within the first week of the new moon, which is going to be July 28th through, we'll say, August 3rd, you can still cash in on this energy and consciously moving forward. So let's see what wants to come up here. Okay, it's the World card coming up reversed. So I'm going to talk about the reversal, but first let me show what the card looks like right side up. When the World card shows up in and of itself, it indicates a time of really feeling victorious, like you're in your flow state, you're completely in alignment, mind, body, soul, you're empowered in your sense of forward movement, you're empowered in feeling completely aligned and harmonized with whatever your goals and dreams and ambitions are. And you're seeing the signs and celebrating the manifestation of those things. So when this card is reversed, all of those aspects are still significant, but we're still in a process of completely coming into that alignment. We're not like on the other side of achieving the alignment. We're still coming into it. So when I see this card reversed in regard to the energy that's best for us to embrace, I would say it's about getting out of our way a little bit. And yeah, we want to have our intentions, but we don't want to be really rigid around how our intentions should show up. We want to be open and, again, tune into higher guidance, signs, synchronicities from the universe, and be willing to go with the flow. Let's not get stuck on how things are going to happen, but stay centered on what our deeper intentions are while we are being mindful of doing what we can do on our end to achieve the harmonious state of alignment that needs to happen to be aligned with what your intentions are, and be in a space of open, relaxed receptivity and allowance based on having a very clear intention set. So that's the best energy for us to embrace. It's being open to things happening in unexpected ways, especially with that Uranus North Node Mars conjunction. That's basically par for the course with this type of energy right now. Be open to things happening in unexpected ways. Be open to new pathways of opportunities suddenly appearing. The next card that we're going to look at is representing what's manifesting energetically here on a collective level. What's the energy that's manifesting now? It's the Three of Swords coming up reversed. When the Three of Swords comes up in general, it's the energy of healing especially through forgiveness. This can be forgiving others, it can be forgiving self, it can be literally taking the daggers of past wounds, fears, traumas that perhaps have been still impacting you in the here and now, clearing those away. So in the reverse position, I feel what's manifesting right now is the awareness of those things. We might be having sudden awarenesses around where we're still having things to heal that perhaps we thought we had healed. There could be deeper layers of things coming up, or perhaps things coming into our awareness that wasn't even really on our radar that needed to have healing. So what's manifesting is awareness around where we still can have more healing, which really equates a soul liberation that can happen because we are really fully liberated and free on a soul level when we're not harboring old pain, old wounds, old traumas. And so that's a part of the cycle of experience right now. It feels really good. Now, the awareness of where there needs healing is what's coming into view. But while we're in Leo season, I would say that some of that healing can happen through engaging in positive, supportive community, engaging in creative self-expression. Creative self-expression actually is very rooted in ancient shamanic practices for healing. Dance, theater, artistic, mask making, creating mandalas for healing. These are all things that are shamanic modalities of healing. Okay, next card we're going to look at is how we can best embody this energy that's showing up for us. How can we best embody the energy of open-mindedness that the World card is compelling us towards? How can we best embody that energy? Is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is the energy of noticing options, potentials, possibilities, opportunities, new pathways, just as I spoke of earlier. So noticing that with the energy of curiosity, with the energy of excitement at the possibilities, and really just being grounded in presence around what of the opportunities, possibilities, new pathways, trajectories are opening up for you. Pay attention to where your exuberance is and what you feel most drawn to first. One of the biggest teachings of this card is that it's not one or the other, black or white or all or nothing. It's more about restructuring priorities, plural, as in these are the things that I'm valuing and prioritizing in my life right now. And I'm noticing that the order or structure of my priorities are shifting, and I'm allowing that. The last card we're going to look at is just like an overall message from Spirit, and I feel like it wants to be this one. And it's the Four of Swords coming up, also reversed. So when the Four of Swords comes up in general, it heralds a time of giving yourself a little bit of a breather. It's a time of resting the mind. It's resting mentally. And in the reverse position, it emphasizes that in the way where we're noticing where we are exhausted mentally with all of these intensities of energies that have been happening over the past few weeks with the Uranus conjunction. A lot of us are feeling mentally exhausted, confused. We've been overthinking, we've been overanalyzing. And Spirit is saying, give yourself a break, give yourself a breather. This is the energy. It can be resisting taking a break when you need to take a mental break. It also speaks of the value of rejuvenation that happens on the other side of taking a break. So give yourself a mental break. We all need to give ourselves a little bit of a mental break. Again, being in our heart space instead, and trusting that that is going to lead to rejuvenation. So take some time to contemplate how these energies are showing up for you. Again, I recommend working with some of the practices that I suggested, healing through expressive creative arts modalities, journaling, and staying really tapped into that path of heart right now, and let that be what leads the way. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here for today. All my love to you, blessings, namaste, and I'm going to see you around the corner in the next video. Love you guys.